like just chatting today, I was talking about the four horsemen in maintenance, right? And four horsemen in maintenance being, this kind of came from an expression of a prior colleague of mine. It starts with talent, and then it gets into delays, and then it gets into cost, and then it gets into churn, right? Those are the four horsemen. If you don't, those four horsemen are present in your business, you have a red alert emergency that needs to be mitigated, because you cannot undo that momentum around those things. Particularly when you get into the cost side and the churn piece of those four horsemen, ultimately you're dealing with compressed availability of resources to solve problems, right?
Yep.
And like the one thing that we were just chatting about the last couple weeks and talking about, like when you consider it a maintenance and inspection perspective, you're not only competing against like the other property managers in your area, and you're in Georgia, so like you feel this really painfully. You're competing also against the private equity firms that are buying like HVAC and trade companies, right? So like I said today at a talk, like Brookfield owns the buildings and Brookfield owns the trades. And then you've got Amazon, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, and et cetera, building data centers in your neighborhood. They're paying electricians like $270,000 a year, right? And then, oh, by the way, the military wants to hire 400,000 plumbers by 2031, right? To fill in their gap just to maintain their existing operations. Because you got to sit there and play the game differently, because there's no way that you're going to beat them at their game. And so trying to mobilize around efficiencies that, let them be inefficient at what they're going to do, because they're going to be able to pay more and they can pay for inefficiency. I don't see a world where SFR, BTR can choose inefficiency because of a lack of stones. I'll say it, it's our show, to step up and say, hey, I'm going to do this differently. That's the part that I'm finding really in terms of hell yes. It's like finding those that have the buying authority, the conviction on a new path,